Hey there, welcome to the Locker Room. Coach Arias here. Today's message is going to be by Aaron Price, No Plan B. He currently is the owner of Sorrento's Pizza down in Oakland, right by the University of Pittsburgh campus. Well decorated. Everybody knows the place there for some of the best Italian food, best pizza. He's owned this place for over 10 years now. And I've watched some of the sacrifices, some of the grind and effort that it took for him to get this place off the ground rocking, to get it to where it is now. Now I'm watching, after Father's Day, I get to watch this guy. He's an amazing father and a great business person. 3 awesome children. And I've watched this all happen from some of the sacrifices and some of the, just the work ethic is one of the things I admire. Outside of your heart and who you are as a person is some of the things that I've watched you do as a business owner. So if you could share a couple minutes with us on what you think helped to make that place successful. And I know one of the things we talked about was that there just was no option, no plan B.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate that. Happy to be here with you guys. So as I had a week or two to put some thoughts together to share with everyone. I had a couple different points I was going to make. Kept coming back to one particular thought or point that I felt was just paramount, and that's the concept of not having a plan B.
That's it.
No plan B.
No option.
And as I watched last night, Cleveland Cavaliers become the city champions.
Praise the Lord. I've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, 50 years.
Yeah.
I noticed fans in the on the TV and a lot of the players too underneath their jerseys have a all-in T-shirt, which I'm assuming must have been their motto or slogan for the year.
Yeah.
And practically synonymous with the idea of being all in and having no plan B. Same thing. And for me in business, it was a lot of the same. I was young, 26. The business I purchased was pre-existing. I had an opportunity to purchase it. Took a loan out from my dad, who hadn't been retired for quite some time. So for me, failure, I was gonna do everything I could in my power to be successful at that time. The idea of putting my dad in a situation, someone who believed in me.
Yeah.
So
that's a big risk, not only for you and for him, but for the respect level that I know you have for your father.
Sure.
I know that's a huge risk. So to put yourself in that position took a little bit of guts, a little bit of risk, and so it gave you that feeling of there's no option to be.
No option.
I have to be successful.
Right. Plan B would have been my dad flipping burgers, and that wasn't going to happen. So. So from then, with that attitude and that kind of a mentality, it's gotten me through the last 10, 11 years. And
outside of the risk, what are some things that you think it takes? Because you've been doing this over 10 years now. It's not like you're a rookie. What are some of the sacrifices that have to happen, or that in your case have had to happen? Some of the late nights, some of the early mornings. I've watched this. Happen.
Yeah. Yes. As Simon mentioned, our weekend hours do get late. 3 in the morning is when we close. So oftentimes. You're not getting out of there till 4:30, getting in bed till 5, 6 in the morning, and many times you have to do it again. Early on, that's the way it was. Not so much anymore, but early on, that's what it took.
Laying that foundation.
Didn't have an option, Simon. There was no decision to be made, and once I truly embraced that idea that there's no decision to be made, you just do it. You don't think about it because your eye is on the prize. You're all in. You're pot committed. There's no plan B. There are no decisions to be made. It kind of makes it easy.
That's it.
In a lot of ways.
Amen.
But,
I see a huge part of business success is just not giving yourself that thought pattern of even having an option to not be successful. And so I've watched you put in that upfront grind, that upfront work ethic of the late nights, the early mornings. And how long would you say that went on? For the majority of the time you had to do that, would you say 6, 7 years?
At least, yeah. For me to feel comfortable. Knowing
that it was stable.
For me to be where I wanted to be about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
so if I'm hearing you right, the motivation starting off was a little bit of risk, and then people depending on you, and then so having that no plan B attitude. So you follow that up with not only, so a lot of people have big dreams, but then they don't have big work ethic. So you followed it up with the sacrifices and the work ethic. And now you put yourself in a position now to where, not that you chill, you still got a great work ethic. But now I watch you be a father, to your 3 kids, and you're an amazing husband, amazing friend. I mean, you're just an all-around unbelievable person. And so that's why I wanted to have you on this locker room, because I've watched you build it from the time you got it all the way till now, and I've watched the life that's happened since then. So not only am I rooting for you, but if you could just close with just anything else out there for somebody starting from the ground up to build a business like yours,
Sure.
what would you say, last 30-second advice, give them some wisdom
Sure.
to close?
I would have to say it's not necessarily. It's more. It could be a means to an end in a lot of ways, but the journey of owning a business is something that will never end. You're never going to know others to know. You know, the work is never going to be done. You can just hope that maybe it's a little bit less, and you can take some time out of your your day, enjoy your friends and family that you might not have in the past. But it's never going to end, and that's a good thing. You're never going to know all there is to know. When it comes to owning a business, there's always something to learn and a place to grow. So
that's really a championship mindset, is what I hear. People that I know that have been successful in sports, professional athletes, still got that chip on their shoulder, and when they don't, it's time to retire.
That's right.
People now, as a new father, I hear people tell me all the time, "Oh, you're going to feel this way for her when she's 40 years old. That's always going to be your baby. You're always going to be. That's always going to be your kid. It's always going to be your baby. You're always going to be a parent." And so it's the same thing when you're going to accomplish anything great. It may be a little bit less down the road, but it's always going to be your baby. It always takes a little bit of work to be great and to accomplish anything great. So continued success.
Thank you.
We wish you at Sorrento's here in Pittsburgh. Keep knocking it out of the park in all aspects of life. Thanks for joining us this week in the locker room. No plan B. Make some sacrifices. Look, let's go out there and rock it this weekend, gang. Looking forward to seeing y'all next week.